Good morning, folks. It's about 11:30, October 28th, Monday. 50.1 degrees according to that one. 55 degrees according to this one. So what am I up to? I don't know. What do I do a lot of lately? I build hoop buildings. But just quickly before we do that, remember I bought these batteries? It appears as if the marine one has taken a charge. And I'm fighting with the gel cells. The gel cells only seem to be charging up to 8 or 9 volts. Then they've been faulting. So what I did was I put the gel cells on a standard charger set to 2 amps, and I did that overnight. And then I moved to this guy. This guy is considered a smart charger. 9.1 volts. So let's see what it does. This is the highest it's been, 9.1. Typically what it was doing was it was climbing to like 8.5, then it would drift back downward and it would fault out. So I'm trying to see if I can't get something into the 2 gel cells. The EverStart, once again, looks like it took a charge, and that's going to work out. Under stupid things to do, all these mini bikes here are 2-cycle. So my son has that gas can sitting there, and I assumed, and we all know what that means, that he had it full of 2-cycle gas. But when I picked the can up, it felt like an even gallon. Didn't feel like he used any of it. But once again, I assumed that he had premix in it. So I put it into my Husqvarna chainsaw, and I was using it, and it wouldn't rev up all the way. It was really behaving poorly. And it was hard to start and hard to pull. So I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with this. And it turns out that when I asked him, I said, "Yo, you put premix in there? Did you put oil in that?" His response was no. And he goes, "Why? You didn't use it, did you? You weren't stealing my gas, were you?" And I, may have learned $125 lesson if that chainsaw is done. So don't steal gas unless you know what kind of gas you're stealing. Obviously, it's not a good thing to do. Obviously, you guys could see what I'm up to. I'm putting this thing together. I ended up with 2x4 framing because that's what I own. That's what I have spare. I also went with 10 foot wide, which I'm going to show you in a second. We're going to do some math, has its own implications. I stopped at this point to show you guys something. These 2x4s have been sitting around for a while, so they were all warpy. So to make things work, you can see kind of some scars here by my foot, right? Some round little circle scars. And you can see a really nice little round circle scar right there. Because what I had to do was take this big C-clamp and smash things into place and then screw them. See, like right here. Oh God, old age. There's this gap right here. So to bring that down, you just put the old clamp on it. Yeah, there you go. You can see it, and squeeze it into place. And then once you're in place, put some nice long screws in, and all is good. So I should have this building put together real soon. I went with 10 foot wide because as you measure each one of these tractors, they're like 34 to 38 inches. Call them 36 just for a good number. Well, you got a bunch of 36s across here. So 1, 2, 3, if they're a little more than 36, plus you lose 4 inches, right? 3.5, whatever, 7 inches total, right? Your problem is, from a width point of view, you lose a little bit of space. But the problem being, if you go with 10 foot wide and you're using a 16 foot cattle panel, which I am using, that more or less tells you your diameter is 10 foot, and it's going to be a perfectly round 10-foot circle. Once again, the diameter is 10 foot. The radius is 5 foot. Well, what is the radius? This here, from bottom to top, is the radius. Well, that means it's only going to be 5 foot high, which means homie's going to be back to bumping his head. Self-inflicted bitch slap upside the head when you smash it into something, eh? So, yeah, I was just fumbling with the equation, right? Circumference, I don't know, could you guys see this? I got sun in my eyes, so I can't see it. Where's my formula? There you go. Circumference equals pi d. Pi equals 3.14. If I'm going with 10 foot across and half, right, because only looking at half the circumference, that equals 16. Well, 16 is the length of the cattle panel, which means if the cattle panel were 18, obviously it would stick up a little taller. But given that it's 16, it looks like I'm forming more or less a perfect circle, which means I'm not really going to have a high spot in the center. I can play some games. You could kind of with the end support, you know, the arch thing that I'm building, you could kind of force the top up a little bit, but once again, as you're forcing the top up, then you got that arch in there which takes away some of your space. So I'm probably looking at like a 4'6" high arch, which is really the perfect height to smash your forehead against. So I deliberately went to 10 foot. I went to 10 foot for a couple of reasons. The wood that I'm using, that I had extra of, that I want to burn off and not be buying wood, is 16 foot long. And I really didn't want to, you know, cut them at 9 foot and, you know, throw away 7. So, you know, I got an extra foot of use out of them, and, you know, I guess I should be all proud of myself. But I guess the 6 foot long leftover pieces, I'll be able to use those. These guys here, they don't look 6 foot. They really don't look 6 foot. They're not taller than me. Well, I guess they are taller than me. They are 6 foot. I guess I can use those for the arch door, so they won't be wasted. Maybe it's all going to come together in the end. All right, folks, I have a deal cooking on another 3-wheeler. I know just what I need. I'll tell you about it if I get it. I have a 4 o'clock appointment, but if I were a betting man, the word you guys use up in Canada is Kijiji. I guess you don't have Craigslist up there. You have Kijiji. And you call it Kijiji'd when you show up someplace and, you know, nobody's there and you're kind of screwed. You took a drive for nothing. I really have a feeling I'm going to get Kijiji'd on this, but the deal is right. It's really right. And I have the spare part. It's really a nice deal. So if I can pull this one off, it's going to put a smile on my face. And but we'll see. You know, sometimes the best deals are the ones that just don't come together. Those of you who've been with me from a video point of view, you realize that it's just, I'm like a little bit crazy about buying these all-terrain vehicles. You know, I kind of like them. I kind of like buying them. It's kind of the hunt of the purchase. You know, like the flea market is kind of the hunt of the deal. One never quite knows what you're going to get, but you enjoy going out there and just you know, hunting it out. So that's what I like doing. And then I do like getting them home and going through them and figuring out what's wrong with them, and, you know, how they were ridden and who took care of them and who didn't and all that kind of stuff. So it's I don't know, it's a sick hobby on my part, mental illness maybe, but I do enjoy it. So that's what I do, right? Some people are dentists, some people are doctors, some people gamble, some people womanize. I buy a lot of junk and hoard it. All right, folks, live, love, and have a great time. We'll catch you on the next episode of The Horde. Thanks for watching, subscribing, and commenting. Take care now. Bye.